One person is asking, favorite Cliff Burton memory.
Favorite Cliff Burton memory? Wow. I'm sure you all know who Cliff Burton is, right? Favorite Cliff Burton memory? Well, I can't remember if this is in I'm the Man, the first book, but we got arrested together in London back in like 84. I had flown over to do promotion for our first album, Fistful of Metal. Metallica was in London because they were supposed to do a tour. It was the Rods, Metallica, and Exciter. It was a UK tour that actually at the time was canceled because of lack of ticket sales, if you can imagine, right? And Metallica was recording Ride the Lightning at the time up in Denmark, but it left the studio for like a month because they were supposed to do this tour. Tour gets canceled. Studio's booked because they were supposed to be gone. So they're stuck in London. And the label, our mutual label, Music for Nations at the time, they got an apartment for us to hang out in. And Metallica was going to be there for like a month and do press. And they booked a couple of shows at the Marquee, the old club back in the day in London. And I was there. I was only supposed to be there for a few days, but now I had a bed to sleep in. And they were like, yeah, you could hang here. So I ended up staying for a few weeks. And anyway, Cliff needed a new Walkman. That really dates the story. Everyone here know what a Walkman is?
They're nodding, yeah.
Yeah. Revel, do you know what a Walkman is? I'm asking my son.
He says yes.
He knows. So yeah, Cliff needed a Walkman, so we leave the apartment. It was still cold out in London too. It was like early '84. And we're both in big winter coats, and we're down in a tube station heading to like Tottenham Court Road where he was going to buy a Walkman. And two police walk. I'll keep it short because the story's out there. But anyway, we get arrested. The cops think because we had long hair, we must be carrying drugs. And even though we said we're not, they were like, well, we could bring you in on suspicion. And I'm like, it's good to see that you obviously have nothing better to do. And that didn't help me being snarky. And we get taken in, and I get thrown into like this concrete cell with just a little tiny window in the door, stripped down to my underwear, and it's freezing cold. And I'm like sitting there for 6 hours thinking it's like Midnight Express. That's it. Like they're going to find. And I knew because Cliff had a whole bunch of weed back in the apartment. And at some point, like I heard noise out in the hallway, and I was banging on the door, and one of the cops opened the thing. I'm like, what's going on? They're like, we're taking your friend back to the flat to search it. And I see Cliff like, as they take him out, and because he had a whole bunch of weed. And I'm like, oh, we're screwed. That's it. Midnight Express. I'm never going to see my family again. And a couple hours later, they bring him back, and they give me my clothes back, and they say, get dressed. The captain wants to see you. And I'm thinking, like, what's going on here? And we go in the captain's office, and Cliff is sitting there kind of half smiling at me, and this captain starts apologizing to us. You know, you got to understand we have a lot of problems with people selling drugs, you know, and it's a big football match today and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wait a minute, so we're okay here? Like everything's fine? And then I lost my mind. I start screaming at this guy for like 3 minutes, like how I'm hiring a lawyer. Immediately, the Jew comes out. I'm getting a lawyer, like just instantly. And Cliff's like kicking me, like, shut up, they're letting us go. And anyway, we finally leave, and I'm like, dude, what about the weed? Like, so I'm going to ask all of you here and on Facebook Live, if there's like 10 cops walk into this little like 2-bedroom flat, where's the first place you look in an apartment if you're looking for a bunch of drugs? Where would it be hidden? Not the fridge.
Fridge?
Under the mattress. Yes. Exactly where his giant bag of weed was. They never looked under the mattress. The worst cops in London history, apparently, because they never looked under the mattress. It's like, seriously, someone was watching over us that day. Kirk was sitting in the apartment when the cops came in with Cliff. Like 10 dudes and Cliff come walking in, and he said, he goes, I'm just sitting there practicing guitar on the couch, and all these guys walk in, and Kirk was just like, because he knew, like, oh my God, we're busted because Cliff's got a big bag of weed. And they never found it. It was unbelievable. And they let us go. And the end of the day, Cliff never got his Walkman. Store was closed.